Hi. Hello, everybody. Marvin Edgar. Yeah, the Marvin Adrian Edgar is now live again. Now, I never wanted to take Facebook as a mockery take myself for a mockery, or just to come on air to talk garbage. Yesterday, right here in the United States of America, I was at a function, and quite a number of people came up to me and say, "Hey," I'm accustomed to it now because it happens like every day. Everybody like, "Hey, you're the guy on the video. You're the guy from the Bahamas. You're the guy on the video." And I'm like, "Yes, I am." So there was this young lady who walked up and she said to me, I was so moved by your video that you did, the other day, and I'm telling you that, I believe you. But she said, but I went to church and you all know me. I will not call the name of the church, but I will make the statement clear and nice and to the point, and the message will get through to who it needs to get through to. So there has been an army of persons, I understand. The young lady said that a team of persons, I don't know if it's true, I'm telling you what the young lady has said, and she's the second person who has said it to me. Second person who said it to me, that a team of persons right here from the US, Adventists, who flew to the Bahamas in an effort to authenticate my post where I made mention of the gentleman who spoke out of his mouth that in order to get the Haitians out of the shelter, y'all know the video. They would have to starve them out of there and whatever. So some Adventist person, because I spoke about the nastiness from the Adventist gentleman's mouth, a lot of persons, well, let me not say a lot of persons, but the 10% who somehow have a problem with truth, and people who talk up about the garbage that is under the table. There's this 10% who don't talk about the nastiness in the church. Don't talk about it publicly. People should not know about the nastiness, the garbage that is in the garbage pan that needs to be taken out because it is causing a serious stench in the house. I want to use that analogy. Let's work with garbage and the garbage. The young lady said that a team of persons, board members, I believe, flew to the Bahamas. They wasted their plane fare, I guess, on a missionary work to go and authenticate Marvin Adrian Edgar's video. No, I must say, I am flattered. I am honored to know that I created that kind of effect on you, that you could waste church money and go Bahamas to authenticate my video. And then when you came back to the United States of America, you were bold enough to tell your church members, because that was a church member who spoke to me yesterday and the other young lady who spoke to me 2 weeks ago. You, or whoever the team was, you came back and you were bold enough to come and say, we went there and The young man who did the video, the findings are false. It is not true. It never happened. Huh? Now let me tell you something about Marvin Adrian Edgar. And this is a message I am sending to every pastor, deacon, deaconess, elder, whoever you are and wherever you are. Let me tell you this about Marvin Adrian Edgar. I am a modern day David. Modern day David. As a matter of fact, the best thing to describe Marvin Edgar is water. I am water, which means I can be calm. I can be very calm and nice to be around. And if you can swim, you can survive in my atmosphere. But you better know, say, if you cannot swim, when it comes to Marvin, you're going to drown. You will drown, because not only as water can I be calm and cool and refreshing when hot, but I am letting you know I can be dangerous, deadly. Deadly. Meaning, when it comes to talking truth and standing up for righteousness, amid that, Marvin. You know why? Because it's one person I have to answer to. Jesus Christ. Not elders, not pastors. A bunch of people who believe that they decide your faith as to when to show up to church, when to leave, what to say, and how to say the truth. You will never, none of you will never ever be in a position to tell Marvin Adrian Edgar how to stand up for Jesus and talk about the filth that happens in the church. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, I see someone, Yanni, you know me. Marvin, stop worrying about them people. No, Yanni, I realize that I cannot run away from who I am. You know who I am? I am the guy, the voice who speaks for the voiceless. Me. I am the eyes for the persons who can't see. And I don't know if I am cursed with this blessing or I am just blessed with this blessing to just be the guy who stands up for righteousness and call sin by its rightful name. Now, the problem I have with Marvin Edgar is that Marvin Adrian Edgar, I am really not where God really wants me to be. I am not there yet. I am still in a position where I am fighting with my battling with, just little challenges. There are challenges that young people come upon and whatever. It's not easy being in this world. But I will tell you this, that this head is properly screwed on when it comes to people who are malicious towards their church brothers and church sisters, people who will not stop at anything to destroy people. I am the person who will stand up for the bullies in the church and the nastiness. And as I said before, I want to use the analogy of the garbage and the garbage pan. For those of us who know about garbage, you know that there's some garbage you can keep under your cupboard for a little while because it is not stink. But you know that there's some garbage in the garbage pan that has to go out now because the stench of it is unbearable and cannot stay in the house. So we have to dispose of it. People have a problem when you want to rebuke the church leaders or the people in the church who keeps doing some like a nastiness, some ungodly, unrighteousness things. People have a problem with people who stand up and talk about it. Don't talk about the church like that in public and whatever. Did you know? Let me educate you. Did you know that Jesus don't have any private rebuke? There is no private rebuke. Jesus would rebuke the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the priests, and all the people them who call themselves, church leaders. He would do it publicly. Publicly. And forgive me if I want to tell you that I am the kind of guy who, I'm going to do it publicly. We tend to think that the world or the general public don't know of the nastiness that is happening in the churches. You think the world don't know? They know more than you and I. As a matter of fact, the world as it is now made up of a lot of persons who experienced us as Christians coming out of church and worship with me. Some of them baptized but had to leave because they were not strong enough to stand up against the hypocrisy and the demonic practices in the church and the hatred and the bad mind and the wickedness. Now, to all the pastors, hey, let me tell you this, and all the elders and whoever who is being paid in the church to operate the church, and you think that you have a right to go around and authenticate people's experiences or people's testimonies. In the name of Jesus, uno better stop. Do uno work. Do your job. You know what is your job? Go out there to the prisons. Go in a prison, go meet to the prison people and talk to them and let them know that they're still loved and we are praying for them. And when they come out, they must accept Jesus. Right? Go into the hospitals. Got people bedside right now. There are so many hospitals and nurses. Go to the health places. They might go talk to people who are sick and don't have no money. Go and try and learn how to be so connected with Jesus that when you come in contact with people who are sick, that you can heal them without them having to go to doctor and physicians and can't find the money to get proper health care. Because you would have been a modern day prophet wrapped up and tied up in a Jesus with enough power to heal people. That is your mandate. That is your mandate as a pastor or elder. Want to just walk on the church and want to just can't wait. We're so interested in gossip, and we're so interested in Facebook posts, and we're so interested in people's lives the wrong way. You are interested in people's lives the wrong way. And this is why, as a Seventh-day Adventist institution, and I'm going to tell you this, Marvin Adrian Edgar, I am a proud Seventh-day Adventist young man. Proud. You know why? None of you can get me out of the church. Not one of you. And I worship at anyone. Anyone. And I don't care when I show up to your church. You introduce me as a visitor. You don't trouble me. Because my church is not on planet Earth. My church is in my heart. And I know who is my pastor. I know who is my elder. I know who is my board member. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Him is the only one who can put me a backbench or read me out of a church. And he's not doing that. You know what he tells me? You know what is in his words? Wherever sin abounds, grace much more abounds. Some of you just get up every day and all you're concerned about is fancy suit. If you dress up nice in a church and can talk big words. There's so many persons in the church pews who don't even understand a thing from most of the sermons. Not for one cannot get up and preach a sermon without looking on a piece of paper. You know why? Because not one have no connection with Jesus. We have no connection with Jesus. But let us have a table where we sit and slaughter our brothers and sisters and discuss them. Oh, yes, I think he's I think it's rude. People like those we don't want in the church. People like those you don't want in the church. Let me tell you something. Dr. Clinton Baldwin, my good friend, who taught me at Northern Caribbean University. It was a pleasure to be in that man's class. Let me tell you about Dr. Clinton Baldwin, who was a Seventh-day Adventist for over 50 years. Over 50 years he was Adventist. And the things that was said about that man. I can tell you that at every class when we go at NCU, Dr. Clinton Baldwin's class was one of the best, was one of the class, I can tell you, that had Jesus in it. He was the one who made the statement. You know what he said? He said, I believe it's going to take a microscope to find Adventists in heaven. Microscope! And let me tell you something. I know right now, these words that I am speaking, they are gonna cut deep. There's someone who have a turn off the phone. I don't want to hear it. But let me tell you this. You cannot run from the truth. And God, I'm going to tell you this. As Adventists, we believe that we are the only ones who are going to be saved in the kingdom. We are the remnant. No, you are not the remnant. The Lord is going to take the remnant out of the remnant. There are a lot of people who are in those Sunday churches who are spirit-filled. Yes, they may not be keeping the Sabbath as you have it. But let me tell you something. If we were supposed to be legalistic, they are keeping 9. I just one they want to keep. They're keeping 9 out of the 10 commandments. Yes, and it's going to be very easy for them to keep the Sabbath. But we as Adventists, it is harder for the man, we who only keep one, to keep the other 9. It is much easier for the man who is keeping 9 of the commandment for keeping next one. Here, be careful how you tear down people. Be careful how you walk around and tell lies on people. Do not tell any lie on Marvin, Adrian, Edgar. That is the post for today. And I'm going to tell you this. If you want to do some work for Jesus, tomorrow morning, don't get up and make my post be the talk of the day, where this is what you're going to preach on Sabbath. And you must be careful. Let me tell you something, touch not the Lord's anointed. You will find yourself with your tongue rolled back in your head and your choke pan and dead. Marvin, Adrian, Edgar, is going to be the force to reckon with. The water. I, myself, and let me tell you this. Me is a garbage pan. I am a garbage pan. All of us are garbage pans. But you know something? There are some of us whose garbage don't stink, It just needs to be thrown out. Stink. Stink. And I'm happy that I have a garbage collector named Jesus. Him no run to come on and collect any garbage. And then him wash out the garbage pan and put back the garbage pan in the house of the Lord. And the garbage pan is there with no stench. And I am praying for that day when Jesus Christ can wash this a garbage pan here. But for you, you better examine your garbage pan and make sure that the garbage in your pan no stink. You make sure the garbage in your pan is not stink. And Yanni is saying, and that is the truth, because it's not Adventism that will save us. It's our relationship with God. Of course, it is our relationship with God. And some of us, we are so caught up in the denomination that we can never see it. And there's some of the so-called Adventists will kill you if you talk like this. You can't talk like this. You can't. How dare you speak about the church like that? A Jesus me worship. I don't worship a building. I don't worship a building. I am not confined or defined by no denomination. You understand what I'm saying? I am telling you. When me get up in that man and me talk to me Jesus, and me go and me feel right within my heart, I know that when I go there, I'm not telling people lies. And I am being honest with people. And I am showing nothing but love for anybody who on Facebook, who you have met me and you know me. You know my personality. I am nothing but love. Love. Marvin is always smiling. Marvin is always nice. Right? I did my post. The post that I did in the Bahamas. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Because it was divinely done. And you know how I know it was divinely done? For every single day that I go out and the amount of people that I come in contact with and say, brother, your post ministered to me. Your post blessed my heart. I never did it with the intention to bless people's heart. I stood up for what I believe was righteousness and for what was right. But I'm going to tell you this, Me, Marvin, Adrian, Edgar, the mother and dear David, me no ramp. Do not tell any lies on me. Stop going around and trying to authenticate my posts. If you want to authenticate it, get on your knees and ask God if it is true. Because you thought that when you all went to the Bahamas to check the authenticity of my post, you thought of the statement that the gentleman made about starving the people. You thought that when you went down there, you would have found the information written on walls. You thought that it was there on walls. But be careful, because Jesus used him finger right upon the wall already. And we write upon the wall and no one can erase it. No one can erase it. Be careful. All I am saying, and my post, I must I want the world to know this. My intention initially for the gentleman who made that horrible statement about people is not to condemn the man, If I wanted to condemn him, I would have spoken his name. I would have given his name to the world for everybody to know him. But I was hoping that he would have seen my post and within himself go upon his knees, just like David and just like everybody else, and repent and turn from his wicked ways and accept Jesus. I don't hate the brother. I don't hate him. But I hated the statement because the statement was ungodly and wicked. And for all the other statements that were made, there are wonderful people in the Bahamas. Wonderful. Some people did not hear that in my first post, but I remember saying it, that I had very good friends from there. But at the end of the day, the truth was the truth. In the posts and from the statements that were going around about shooting people and all kind of stuff, it was wrong. And that somebody had to stand up and somebody had to speak out. And as I told you before, I am the one who I believe is cursed. I believe I am cursed because I always make people's business my business. And when I say people's business, I don't mean any business. I mean the people who I believe cannot speak for themselves, who cannot see for themselves, who cannot feel for themselves. I am their senses. I will feel for them. I will see for them. I will speak for them. As a matter of fact, you all thought Marvin, Adrian, Edgar was done? Me just a come. So get ready. The water is here. If you can swim, come in my world and you'll survive. If you cannot swim, you will drown. By Marvin, Adrian, Edgar, because I will allow Father God, I will allow Jesus to use me and use me constantly. If you don't like it, talk to Jesus about it. And you cannot do me anything unless my God permit that. Have a good day. Blessings.